Yeah, it interests me when people get mad at a character. And I sometimes say, look, if I started off a book saying Liz was a sweet and gentle person who never told a fib and was perfectly lovely to everyone, beginning of the book, middle of the book, Liz was a sweet and gentle person, etc. End of the book, Liz is still that sweet and gentle. Well, where's the plot? Your main character anyway has to be on a quest to find something, and most likely, because really it's no fun really to read about angels. She's going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. So that was my, but I don't know. I always loved Liz, but maybe you love things you make. I don't know. I think that I just thought writing novels was magical and that I didn't have the magic thing. But I came home, I'd gone to Sweden to visit my older daughter who was working there. And I said to her, we have to go. And I'd been interested in this painter, Carl Larsson, forever. And I said to Sybil, my daughter, we have to go to their house. And she was a pretty good sport about it. It was a long journey involving not really a dog sled, but many means of transport. And while there, I learned that Larson's wife had also had the same artistic training he had, but he told her that she wouldn't be allowed to paint because there couldn't be two painters in one house, and you can guess who's going to be the painter in that house. So I came home and wasn't going to do anything about that trip, wasn't going to write even a travel article. But my friend Jane Urquhart, the novelist, and I, and her husband Tony Urquhart, who's a painter, had always loved the Larsons, and we'd always talked about them. So I called Jane and I said, I'm going to tell you a story I heard about the Larsons, that Karin Larson wasn't allowed to paint, etc. And I'm giving you this as my present from Sweden. And Jane said right away, I'm giving you back your present because this is your first work of fiction. And I said, I can't write fiction, blah, blah, blah. And she said, yep, you can. And it took me 10 years, but yeah, I did. That's how it started. I never, never, never planned to write novels. And then it was so much fun that now I don't want to write anything but novels. Just think of that first draft as just like you're throwing mud at a wall and some of it's going to stick, and just don't criticize yourself too much. Don't question what you've done. Just put something down. And then in my view, it will be easier to rewrite. Um, I'm going to say when it comes to a book, and this could work for a short story too, but speaking of a book now, I said to myself at the beginning of Her Turn, if you write 500 words a day, which is not a huge amount, but I'm so slow. If you write 500 words a day in 140 work days, you will have a manuscript of about 70,000 words, a draft. You'll have a draft in which you can refine it. And that just seems such a short period of time. Now, I mean, of course, you'd probably take the occasional weekend day off or something like that. But I just was astonished at how much you could get done if you just did 500 words a day. So that's my model. I'm writing a third novel now. And sometimes I get to word 501. No, I'll usually finish the sentence, but it's just like, okay, work's over. I've done my day's work.